Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99 in the Creative Builds world in Minecraft, and I'd like to continue building our Santa's village. And you know what's glaringly missing? A great big Christmas tree! So that's what we'll be doing today. In order to build your Christmas tree, you're going to need a big open space, and you're going to have to decide the dimensions to start building with. So I've looked at the space I've got, and I think if we start with a 16 diameter circle, that will give us a big Christmas tree and it will fit in the space that we've got. So I'm going to use a orange spacer to mark 3 tall in order to start building our tree on top of this. And I'm going to use the dark oak leaves and start with a base circle of 16 diameter. So we want 6 to start with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And make sure you've got enough space, circular space, for the circle to fit in. Right, so this first one is 6, and then we want 2 and 1, and then we turn the corner and have a 2 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2 and 1 and 2 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2 and 1. No, 1, and then turn the corner for 2 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 and 1, and turn the corner for 2, and that should meet us up. So 6, 2, 1, turn 2, 6, 2, 1, 2, 6, 2, 1, 2, 6, 2, 1, 2. There, and we're back to the beginning. So that is our 16 diameter circle to start with. Now you might think, oh, on the next row then I'll build a 15 circle and then a 40 and then a 30, but that wouldn't actually work, because if you use the generating tools for the next circle up, that will say you want 5 on the end here, but you can't place 5 above 6 without it being off centre, so you can't actually build it quite that way. So we have to be a little bit more freeform than that perhaps. So what I want to do now before we go further up is to get in our base. So what I'd like to do is come into the centre here, find the centre 2 blocks for your 6 and start bringing that in to form a support structure for the interior of the tree. So I'm using the dark oak logs because I'm using the dark oak leaves. So I just want to make it look like it could have been a real tree originally. This is slightly more regular probably than a real tree would be, but I just want to give the impression of tree. I don't need it to actually look like a perfect real tree. I just want it to meet in the middle here. And then underneath, if we come down, oops, let's drop down, I want to bring that centre 4 down to the ground. Like so, so that the whole thing is support. And let's continue with our tree after the interruption of the phone call. Here we go. Ooh. Finish off the 4x4 block there in the bottom of the tree, and then we have our support beams going across to the edges. Now as we go up and inwards with the tree, we will of course have a little problem. You would think, since we started with a circle 16 in diameter, that the next thing you do is a 15, but of course you actually wouldn't work, because a 15 diameter would be offset from the centre, because it won't quite fit inside the 16 circle. So what you have to do is miss one and then do the 14. So you're then going to have to put in like a middle section at the row where it will be 15, if you see what I mean. Let me show you what I mean. So if we put 2 blocks of the leaves on each of these supports, just one in from the 16 circle. Then on top of that we can add our 14 circle. So a 14 circle wants 6 in the middle, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's do that on each of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if that's not quite clear, you put the 2 in the centre and then you put the 2 on each side. 1, 2. And then the last one, 1, 2, put 2 on one side, 1, 2, 2 on the other side, 1, 2, and then the gap to fill in here, if we've got the right dimensions, should be a 1, a 1 and a 1. So 1, 1 and 1. Phew, that works, because if that hadn't worked, you would all be laughing at me. And I'd be thinking, oh no, my plans have gone to pot. But the tree is working. You can, of course, build this completely freehand and not worry at all about what's going on. So let's put 2 on the inside and up by 2 again on all of the corners. Oops, I haven't filled the... Don't forget to fill in the corners at all of the sides. Don't leave gaps. Whatever you do, don't leave gaps. And then 1 here, and 1 here, and 1 here. Right, then put 2s. Right, so 2 in the centre just behind and 2 on top of that. And then we can build our next circle, which will be a 12 circle on top of that. So the 12 circle is a 4 in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 in the middle and then 1 at each side. 1 there and 1 there. 2 in the middle and 1 at each side. So we have 4 in total. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the gaps between those should be 2 and 2. 1, 2, and 1, 2. 2. If you put it in the right place, 2 and a 2. Let's do that on the other side. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Remove the spacer block. Let's keep going all the way around. So 1, 2, and 1, 2. And then the final corner, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Let's, can you see it clearly from above? There we go. That's what we've got so far. And then we want to come up to do a 12 circle. So put 2 behind the centre and go up by 2, 2 behind the centre and go up by 2, 2 behind the centre and go up by 2, 2 behind the centre and go up by 2. See, to get a really nice tree is actually quite a lot of work. So now we want a 10 circle. So to do the 10 circle, my little key tells me that we should want a 4 and then a strange corner. So we want a 4 in the centre. So on top of this we want 1, 2, 3, 4, just like we did on the row before. Put the 2 in the centre and then 1 at each side of it. 1, 2, and 1 at each side of it. And then the final one, 1, 2, and 1 at each side of it. And then for the corner, what we need to do is put 2 in this direction and then put 1 behind it. So we've got a little corner like this, 1, 2, 3, like that in the corner. There we go. Let's go and do that in all of the corners. So let's put 1 there. So 1, 2, and then 1 behind. 1, 2, 1 behind. 1, one behind, remove the spacer. And that's how we're going to keep going. So the next one is going to be an 8. So this one will be a 4 and a 1. So put the 2 behind, 2 up, and then we build on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we want a 1 in the corner there, and a 1 in the corner there. And I didn't build up all the way around, so build up our layer, and then 1, 2, and 1 on each side for a 4. And then we want 1 in the corner, and then we want 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 in the corner, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and remove the spacer. So that's what we've got this time. We've got 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4 all the way around, and then we want to come up again for a 6 circle, and the 6 will be a little bit smaller obviously, but the 6 this time it's going to be a little bit more square. So what we do is we actually come up again, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we come across the corner here and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we just have 4 by 4 by 4 by 4. So it's just a little square basically at this point. 4 by 4 by 4. And if we come further away from the tree, it actually does look, to me, quite a bit like a tree. So what we need to do now is fill in the gaps. So you can decide how you think you want your tree to look. So you can play around with the edges and get the shape that you want your tree to be in. So I'm kind of looking, where are the gaps where the two don't meet, and where do they meet, and where do I want the gaps to be? Should I have it meet in the middle here? Should I have something sit on the outside here, like so? And you just play around with it and give it a little bit more character. You don't want it to be completely regular because that's kind of boring, and you just fill in until you're happy with the shape of the tree that you've got. And then I'm just going to freeform it here, and you guys decide what you want to do to make your tree into your tree. Personalise it a bit, have fun with it, and make it look like the kind of tree that you want to have in your house. Everybody has a slightly different idea about what to them is a perfect tree, so why not try and make your Christmas tree in your Santa village to be your perfect Christmas tree, because that's kind of what we're doing. So I'm just going to continue going around the tree and adding things here and there and see what we come up with. I like that one on the corner. Yeah, that's not bad at all. I quite like that. Let's go up a layer and add in the next layer. As you can see, I quite like them to be a little bit more full on the corners, because it's not a perfectly round shape, because obviously we are in Minecraft and we can't get a perfectly round shape when everything we're building is made out of squares and cubes. So just play around with it until you're happy with the shape of the tree that you've got. And this is going to take a little while, obviously. And we're getting really close to Christmas now. It's kind of snuck upon me. I wasn't actually prepared for Christmas this soon. It just seems to have got here really, really fast. The whole year's just whizzed by for me. And I wish I'd started the Christmas series just a little bit earlier, because I feel like we're very close to Christmas and we're still building, which doesn't give you guys a lot of time to build your own versions. Okay, how's that look? That's not bad. Let's move up and play with the row above this one. Let's see how we're getting on. I think we're doing quite well here. Let's go down a little bit to give us a little bit more space here. And of course, on the inside of the tree, you can fill the whole thing in solidly with the leaves if you like as well. Depends how dense you want the foliage to look on your tree. You can just fill in the bottom layer, or you can fill in the whole thing. Depends how many resources you've got, in case you were trying to do it in a survival world, or if you're doing it in creative, resources doesn't matter. You can just use as much as you like. It's all about it being the sort of tree you like the look of, because the whole thing is beautifully decorative. Now, it's meant to be festive and welcoming and just a lot of fun. Now, how are we doing? Yep, up another layer. Let's see, what shall we do? Let's put one in there. And can I get behind that? get in? Can I get in to go behind it? Not necessarily. Let's go around it. Let's not change direction that we were going. Let's go round. Let's take that one back off and go round this corner here. I quite like filling in the corners a bit. Yeah, let's put one in here. Let's fill in the corner here. Let's go round here like so. Let's add another one in here. We're getting quite far up, I think, now. I think we're making some really good progress on our tree now. Oops, excuse the croaky. I think I've got a cold coming. Let's move around a little bit more. Let's add one in that corner. Oh, that's maybe too much corner. Let's add one in the middle here. Let's go along here, add a corner. Add one or two in here. Let's come across. I like the corner. And add a couple in here. Come across. How are we doing now? I like this. I think we're going well. And then we're at the top. That's beautiful. Now we've come to an actual point here where we're in a proper sort of cubey structure, and I don't want it to stay really cubey. So let's go all the way around the inside of the square, like so, with double layers, and then we can sort of knock bits out where we're not happy with it, and then on top let's do another double layer like so. Oh, that's a shame, we can't put a block right in the middle. Like I would really kind of like a block right in the middle, but I can't do that because it's just not going to work. Right, so if we add, should we add more or should we remove a few? Let's see. If we add a couple in the middle here and a couple in the middle of here. Oh yes, let's do that. If I add a couple here and then a couple here, I want the top to look a little bit bushy. Let's take that one out. And then we can have a 4 in the middle like this, and then we go up one more. Let's go up one more with the 4, and then we'll just put a block, 2 blocks at the back, just like that, to make it look higher. Can we do that? Then for sure, we'll take one out here, and then one out here, so it just kind of taper in a little bit. How's that? How does that look? Oh, I like that. That actually looks quite nice. Oh, don't forget to remove your spacer blocks that we started the build with initially. Ooh, let's add one in there and take that one out. How does that look? And then you go around your build and you look at it and you think, oh, does that look good? Do I want to remove anything, add anything? And then you play with it. I quite like that actually. I'm very happy with that. Right, and I'm going to fill in the base here like so, so that it looks solid. And as I said, you can of course fill in the whole entire centre of your tree if you want it to look much more dense. I'm not going to spend that time in the middle of a video to do that, but of course it is a great thing you could do, and you might want to add a few bits dropping down underneath just to make it not look completely two-dimensional underneath. But do make sure that you can't see up into the tree to see that it's completely fake. Like so. Let's leave a gap there so it goes up a bit, and down. You can go up a bit, down a bit, whichever actually suits you. I'm going to leave a little gap there so that this adds a little bit of a three-dimensional effect on the inside of the tree. And then we might want to add a few bits coming down here like so, just to give it that not completely symmetrical and flat look underneath. Let's add another couple of things there, and a couple here. And then we're going to want to decorate it, of course. We don't want it to be completely blank, so you've got lots of different ways you could decorate it. So let me show you a few of those, and then you can decide which ones to use on your tree. I mean, you can use everything obviously, but you don't have to, and you can just choose which ones to use. Let's go across in the corner like so. Let's add a few like that. So we want some decorations. Let's start with some wool. The first thing I'd like to do is grab some colours. Let's get some bright, cheerful colours and some solid colour. And how does that look for colours? There's a pink maybe, and how about purple? We want bright and cheery. Oh, and also, are the chests made to look a bit Christmassy this year, or are they just plain chests? Sometimes they have like a Christmas feel. So if we put some chests, oh no they're not, they're just plain chests. So if we put the chests around the back, maybe like so. And at the front. We'll put one at the back and one at the front so it looks like we're keeping things in there. And then I'd like to make some like presents, big presents. Obviously they're not really presents, but do you know what I mean? We just want something to look like someone's trying to do a big pile of presents underneath the tree. Big pile of presents under the tree. I want them in different shapes and different locations so it kind of feels like Christmas is under the tree. And what colours haven't we used? We haven't used the red, and the red one over here, and let's use the orange. Just put one there, one here, and about one up. Rather than there like that. And if we go back to the different colour again and come round the side, let's pop one there, let's go up, and let's use the pink, let's put one here. How does that look? And then just put in presents here and there, put a few more in, a few less in, decide where you want things, and have fun decorating up the bottom of your tree with the big pile of prezzies. Then of course we can do the same on the tree. We want baubles and streamers and things on our trees, don't we? So if we use some of the colours, let's just run around the tree in different locations, drop a few bits of the wool and decorate it up like these are the baubles being dropped on the tree. We don't need too many of them of course because it's a great big tree, but we just want it to look a little bit more colourful and look like someone has decorated it up. So let's put one here, and one here, and one here. How many purples have we got? And one down there. Let's move on to the pink. Let's go up a bit there, and down a bit there, and up here. And down here, just like you're decorating your own Christmas tree at home, just randomly dropping the baubles on. Be that happy kid near Christmas thinking, oh, the tree's got to be pretty, and cramming on as much stuff as you want or as little as you want, haphazardly all over the place, just having fun. Right, how are we doing? How's that look? Next colour. Next colour, did we do? We already did blue. Right, let's do green. That looks a bit bare down there, and it looks a bit bare up here. And where have we got great gaps? So how about we put one here, and one all the way down the bottom. Here we go, just having fun with my baubles. And we're doing. How are we doing? How are we doing? A few more there. Red. Now to do the red, let's go right down to the bottom. And up here. Oh, and we've got a big gap in the middle there. Let's go right down to the bottom again here. And one right in the corner. Oh, nope, that's not where I meant. I meant there. And up to here. And something around the back. Oh, we haven't got. How's that? And the final colour is the orange all the way down to bottom. Right, and then let's go in the corner. Add another one here, one here. There we go, see, so that's a few of those. And then of course if you want to do something a little bit different, let's grab the gold block, because every tree absolutely needs a big star on it, doesn't it? So let's do that right on the top of the tree. Let's go all the way up to the top, to the very tippy top that we've just made ourselves. We can't really make a complete star because it would be too big, I think, for the tree. So what we'll just do is we'll make a sort of semi-star. We will use 3 blocks upwards and 3 blocks across like that, and that will be our little star for the top of our tree. I like that. And now what I'd like to use is some sea lanterns to add a little bit of colour onto the tree. Let's do that, the sea lanterns. So let's grab those and put those randomly around. Let's start with one up near where the star is, like so, so that when it gets dark you're going to just have a little bit of light on your tree. So you want to come down and around and randomly place them in locations to make sure the tree will be lit up at dark. Let's put one down here, one all the way down at the bottom right here, and then go around to the next side and do something similar. So make sure you've got something right near the bottom and something right near the top, and randomly put a few in between as you go up the tree all the way to the tippy top. And let's put one around the side there so that the ones at the top aren't all right next to each other. And we'll go down and we'll put one here, and then perhaps one all the way down the bottom there, and then maybe one in this corner and one over here, and no, let's put that in the corner side there like that, and one here, and I think that will work. Then if you want something a little bit different, you could of course use the glass instead of or in place of some of the baubles, because you do get glass baubles. These colours of course will be a little bit more muted than the wool, so if you want it a little bit understated, maybe you want to use the glass instead. So I'm going to pick up similar colours. I'm also going to pick up the white, because I think the white in the glass looks quite nice, but I think the white in the wool is just that little bit too harsh of a colour. So my tree might have too many things on it for what you would like, but you can decide looking at mine which sort of decorations you prefer for your own. See what I mean by the white glass is quite nice, but the white wool would just be that little bit too bright. So let's put in a few of these. Let's put one over here, and let's go down and put one here. Let's see, where are we missing a few things? Let's put a white one there, and one there, and one here, and up to here. And how about next to the glass, next to the light round there, in this corner here, over there, putting quite a few of the white ones in, because I actually quite like the white, and one up the top here, I think. Right, let's move to a different colour. Let's put a few of the purple ones in. Right, how are we doing for space on our tree? Is it getting too busy yet? Let's put a purple one there, and a purple one. No, it won't fit. Okay. Ooh, let's see. Where else shall we put one? Let's put one there, and one there, and here. And let's use the next colour. That's the pink one. Let's put one over the side here. Ooh, no, in the corner. And decorating my tree. I kind of want to start singing Christmas carols, but I wonder if they're all copyrighted, and that would get me into trouble. You probably don't want me to sing anyway. My voice isn't too awful, but not when I'm getting a cold. That doesn't sound so good. Right, so where are we? How bright are we? Are we bright? Are we filled in all our gaps? Where are there big gaps for baubles and decorations? How about a blue one over here, and one here? We've got a big gap. Oh, that's not got anything up there. And one here. Next colour, green. Let's put one here. Are we running out of space yet for decorations? And put the green ones sort of all around in the same sort of plane around the top, I think. How are we doing this? Ooh, all the way up to the top here. We haven't really got much up here. Let's put one here. Let's change to the red. And let's see about at the top here. We haven't got a lot up at the top here. Down, let's come down. Where have we got lots of gaps? Let's put one in here, one there, and one down here. And the final colour is the orange. Now what we need to do is step back and look where we've got big gaps on the tree for where we should put something. Here. Here. Ooh, up there. How's that looking? That's looking quite good, I think. I'm going to put one there. So that's lots of different ways you can do your decoration. Of course, if you really want to put a streamer on your tree, you could use one of the bright colours, maybe the red or the green, because they're so traditionally Christmassy, and then just make one long garland of the wool. Maybe wrap it from the top of your tree all the way around, do circular patterns all the way down the tree. But if you do that, of course, then you're not going to have much space for baubles, and I prefer mine with a big bauble idea. So you'd wrap the garland like we did the scarf on the snowman, so it would slowly circle around, and you'd just go circles round and round the tree. And that is our Christmas tree. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. From SoftKitty99, goodbye and Merry Christmas and Happy Gaming!